Hey everybody, welcome back to Roll for Fun. It's Tuesday night, here for live D&D session with our campaign based loosely on Odyssey of the Dragonlords. Loosely sometimes, tighter other times. Thank you for coming. Hope you're settled in for a great night of fun. Before we start, as always, love to get a shout out to Devin Knight, awesome token artist, friend of the channel, partner. You can check the link down below. I reorganized some of the stuff underneath the Twitch window down there, so feel free to, you know, it's basically the same, just reorganized, no big deal there. And I'd also like to say that for anybody who hasn't yet joined Discord, please hop on in, chat with us throughout the week, have a lot of fun in there. We really enjoy it, and we'd love to see you there as well. Julia has something to put out about a very recent awesome development. Go ahead, Julia.
So I just need to preface this by Joey did lie. There's lots of different things happening down below, lots of changes. The most exciting one is that our merch store is live. So check it out. It's the third tile over. Lots of really cool things in there. I had a hand in designing a lot of it, so you're welcome. But buy it up, let us know what you think, let us know what you want to see, and we can do our best to get it in the store. So that's all I have.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, super excited. Check it out. Twitter, something I forgot. Twitter, I know that many people aren't on Twitter, viewers specifically. If you are on Twitter, give us a follow, interact with us at We Roll for Fun. You can link down below as well. It'd be really cool to have some interaction going back and forth between there. If you think we're doing great or you think we're doing horrible, let us know. All the feedback is welcome, and we can grow our Twitter fam. And likewise the website. If you didn't know, if you haven't checked out the website, that's one central hub for everything Roll for Fun. It's got social media, it's got YouTube videos, it has a merch store, it's got a tips page, has all that good stuff. So if you haven't checked it out yet, do so. You can watch the stream live from there and chat from there just like you're on Twitch, so it's pretty cool. Last but certainly not least, the emotes that I put in Discord earlier, the new emotes and the new sub badges. Thank you, Twitch. They had not approved those yet, so I think, unless they did it in the last like 5-10 minutes, those emotes and everything aren't showing up right now because they need to vet them and make sure they're nothing inappropriate. So I'm sorry about that, but you can see those also on the information panel down below. Those are coming, so good stuff there. All right, so I think that about wraps it up. Let me get my stuff here. Make a little bit of noise while I move stuff real quick. All right, so let's play some D&D. Last week, the brave heroes of the prophecy, after having slain the great boar of the Heartlands and received the prophecy from the Oracle Versi herself, traveled to Astoria with Kira in tow. Along the way, you met a traveling caravan of oxen farmers, cow farmers. They were leading these very, very weak and frail looking cows up to Astoria to sell them at the local temple. And they explained to you that the sacrifices to Sidon to try and lift the terrible drought and stop the Centaur and Cyclops raids on the area around Astoria have cut into the region's supply of farm animals so much that even these paltry specimens would catch a very high price. As mentioned, they also talked briefly about the Centaur raids and the Cyclops raids up and down the road between Astoria and Mitros. And in addition to that, you found out while you were in Astoria that there is a large quantity of Centaur and Cyclops amassing on the northern steppes just outside of Astoria's walls across the river Archelon. After getting to Astoria, you met God King Pythor, had a little bit of interaction with him, and found out that his daughter Honora is set to be sacrificed unless you can all intervene. The Order of Sidon has decreed it is the will of Sidon for Honora to be sacrificed in order to save Astoria from the oncoming onslaught of Centaur and Cyclops, and at that time you had 3 days left to do it. You went to go visit the Horn of Balmitria in the reliquary at the Dragon Shrine, and discovered there, through the assistance of the priest Aesop, that the Horn of Balmitria had been stolen not 2 nights prior. He found a mysterious trail of red wine splashed about, leading out of the shrine down the street before, unfortunately, it was lost. A little more information came from a group of travelers that were coming into Astoria. After speaking to the guard, Euron spoke to one of the guards of Astoria, and they said that they heard what sounded like children or some other type of group of small beings fleeing in the direction of Astoria on that same night, not long after the Horn of Balmitria would have been stolen. He spoke to Gaius, the leader of the Order of Sidon, in his room with the several other captains in there, trying to come to some sort of agreement to spare Anora and the city at the same time. Initially rebuffing your negotiations, he seemed open to the idea that Sidon would be placated if all of you, the mighty heroes of the prophecy, would substitute yourselves in Anora's place, the place of the princess of the god King Pythor, the beloved one of the city of Astoria. Taking that information, knowing what you know about the Horn of Balmitria, the wine festival was not a couple days out from now, and it's kind of the deadline for this. You also have the Great Labors knocking at your door to fulfill the prophecy even more so, although they don't have a timeline attached to them at this point. So, after taking in all this information and talking about it, trying to figure out what and how to approach, you all laid for rest before heading off. Laid to rest in King Pythor's palace itself. As you fell asleep, each of you had an identical vision. One of a man, a human boy, growing up into an old man, and seeing him age while this strange voice haunted you and charmingly wormed its way into your mind, talking about mortality and how you're all doomed anyway, and giving a little hint about maybe not all is what you would assume with one's soul after death. As this happened, you all woke up covered in sweat in the luxurious beds. You weren't in the temple, I'm sorry, you were in the inn.
So Lina wouldn't murder the order, yeah.
That's true. That's true. You were in the inn. I was thinking temple, palace. You woke up in these beds in the inn. All 4 of you drenched in sweat, shocked. You all stood up simultaneously, seeing each other in the room, having the same type of response. And that's where we left off. So, I need all of you to give me wisdom saves, please. Alright, so, Lycus?
I got a 10.
Okay. Syaanis?
I got a 4.
4. Alright. Euron?
Nat 20, goddammit!
Alright, we're gonna burn him early, that's good. And Ina?
7.
7. Alright, so Lycus, Syaanis, and Ina, I need you to roll a d10 and a d100, please.
Now I just feel bad. No, someone needs to be sensible.
Alright, so Lycus.
Well, I rolled a 40 on the 100, and then I rolled a 6.
Okay. 40.
So therefore, I completely blew it all out of the water. I got this. We're good. Got it.
Syaanis?
I got a 65 and a 9.
Okay. Got it. And Ina?
I rolled a 30 and a 7.
Alright. So, the D10 is how many minutes you are affected. The effect that this dream had on each of you, you're not affected at all. thankfully. You wake up in shock. You see everybody else start acting very, very strangely. And aside from being kind of frightened and confused yourself, that's the limit of the effects for you.
Mildly murderous, but that's about it.
There you go. Lycus, you are shaken to your core. Something about this dream just resonates with you down to the very pits of your soul. Something is welling up so much fear and horror in your mind that you can't help but run and try to get away from the source of this fear. You must use your action and movement every turn to do so. Syaanis. Something about this disgusts you. It reviles you, but also makes you hunger in this strange, grotesque way. You have the overpowering urge to eat something unusually disgusting and nasty, like slime or worms or dirt or fungus, something like that. Aina. Something about this reverberates throughout your mind and triggers these incredibly real, vivid, awful hallucinations of some type. You would swear they were real. They're surrounding you and you can't get away from them. So, each of your characters are experiencing some form of temporary madness by the effect of this dream. Kira wakes up at the noise, and sees you all acting as such. Scene as yours, what does your madness look like?
I immediately run downstairs and I'm like, barkeep, look, I need to know where your trash bins are right now.
They're in the back. Wait, what do you need the trash for?
Just don't worry about it. And then
So you ran straight from your room?
Yeah.
Straight out of bed?
Yeah.
Do you sleep in the nude?
I'm a goat. Why does it matter?
Just curious.
Damn it, I was just gonna try not to break this early in the session!
It's a record for us, isn't it? Alright, so I run downstairs. He tells me where the bins are. I run outside wherever you directed me. And then I just pick up one of the bins, toss it over to like have all the trash kind of just come out. And I just start like scraping at like the that like weird gross condensation that always comes in at the bottom of a trash can.
Get the good stuff. That's where all the flavor is, buddy. You got it. Mwah.
The barkeep followed you out, and at this point he catches up to you. He sees what you're doing, and he hesitates for a moment, but then he just starts like grabbing at you and ripping at you to pull you away from it before you... He's equally worried about his trash and what you're doing there, and also for your health at this point. Starts calling for guards in the distance.
Look, I'm sorry. I'll fix this in a minute. You just gotta let me do this.
I run down and go, because that seems a bit urgent to deal with.
Okay, you got it.
No, I'm booking it down after him, so maybe I arrive just after the barkeep. And
all
then
right.
just look at him and just go, Syaanis, what the fuck?
Look, I don't know why. I need this.
Look at the barkeep, and I'll just kind of go, we'll clean up after, we'll make sure he throws up later, just please don't call the guard. You would not believe me if I told you.
Looks really confused, but after a minute of kind of
I'll
hesitating
hand
to
him
stay or go,
I will hand him
he
like
starts...
a gold coin as well, and just be like, and please don't tell anyone.
He snatches it and hurriedly walks back inside, staring over his shoulder the whole time. So Syaanis and Euron ran out. Kira's like standing up, looking around. Aina, Lycus, what are you doing?
I get up and I stretch. Just have like a... That was strange. I put my clothes on and I go down to have breakfast. I'm like, what the hell are they doing down there? Why are they all over the place? Just, I don't understand. Barkeep, breakfast, please. Where the hell is Euron? And where the hell is Syaanis? That's all.
Okay.
I got you, bro.
So I jolt
I trust you.
awake in a cold sweat, and I just hear this insane roar as the roof of the inn just gets stripped away. And I see just this plume of fire just melt away the side of the building. And I can see like a red and orange iridescent dragon kind of like veer off and turn around to make another pass. And I look behind me and I see Zool. And I'm just like, what the hell is happening? And I am paralyzed with dragon fear at this moment. And I am just like staring into my husband's face, like, what the fuck am I doing? And then I see Son of Zool come from behind him, and he's wrapped up like the kid in our dream. And so I am freaking out. Nobody else is in this room, right? Kira's gone.
She's still there with you. Like, she was like hesitating to stay, go. Then she saw Euron run pretty clear-headed after Syaanis, and Lyca's just strolled out. So she sees you freaking out.
Okay, so I go to grab my son, and I just like huddle down with him as like I'm watching this dragon just like circle around.
She seems really, really confused. She's like, just doesn't know what's going on. I feel like the audio cut out or something and I missed something, because you guys are looking at me like I'm crazy here.
No, that was just a lot to take in.
I'm just making sure.
This is me trying not to just go like, oh, sweetie, because I can't do that to Aina, because it's Aina. Also, Euron's not there, so I can't...
Yeah.
Yeah, she's in the back alley holding Syaanis' hair.
Just be like, not that bit that there's mold on. Oh, you just.
I'm eating my eggs and sausage, and I'm just like, what the hell is going on in that kitchen? Y'all, what are y'all doing? Syaanis! Yeah, what are y'all doing? Your breakfast
He's
is
eating
getting
fucking
cold.
garbage.
Of course he's eating garbage.
No,
He's Syaanis.
literally.
He's Syaanis. I believe it.
I mean, literally, like Lutheria herself has made him just inhale something.
Well, you know what? You've seen the way he dresses. I'm not surprised the way he eats.
Can you come here and try and see if you can
fine.
get me to at least get him to avoid the rot?
Fine. So I pick up my plate of sausages and eggs, and I start walking to the back of the kitchen. And then I grab a mullet of wine, and I start drinking that. I don't know, I made that word up. And so, yes, I will walk to the back. What? What are you? And then I will look upon what scene? What am I seeing here?
Okay, so you're seeing the Syaanis over there just shoveling this slimy, half-decomposed, fluidy refuse from the garbage pails, the base of it, into his mouth. It's covering his face and matting his fur. Euron has like trying to hold one of his arms up and pull his head back and trying
Scarf's
to pull
like
him off.
fallen down, and they're like the longest one's trying to pull Syaanis back, but can't quite reach.
Perfect. I look upon this scene, and then I frisbee fucking throw my plate right at your face.
My face?
I mean, full-fledged, wow! And then I scream bloody fucking murder and run away. At your face. Oh, straight at your face.
And well, my back's to you.
yeah, well, I'm aiming for your face, but like the back of your face. There were 1,000 faces just staring at me.
Do I need to roll damage?
I mean, you wouldn't roll damage, but I would say that you were caught off guard and you were basically self-grappling Syaanis, so it definitely hit you, and you took 2 bludgeoning damage.
I think it not just hit her, it may have dropped him and her into the refuse, and just made them a cohesive, coagulated, just nastiness. Yeah, I think that's perfect.
Alright, so like, I hear what you're saying. And Joey, this weekend was Mardi Gras, right?
No, all of February is Mardi Gras, bro.
I mean, fair, but
Okay.
I'm just imagining.
We're not from Louisiana.
I'm just imagining
It's
something in
carnival
the French
season,
Quarter.
yes. Yeah, pretty much. That's fair. Something really nasty in the French Quarter. So, Lycus just starts beating it, hooves to ass, down the street of Astoria in the early dawn hours.
Gone.
And he just doesn't seem to be paying attention to anything.
Beautiful day for a run for your life.
Euron probably is like face first in like. What am I thinking of? Of like, basically, Euron. You know those when they do a pie to the face. Euron basically just did that to herself in like this half-eaten, slightly moldy meat pie and like gravy in the nose, and
Don't let me.
doesn't say anything. Just kind of just mutters into it like, "I'm gonna kill him," and then sits up and like tries to get it out, and it's just like.
I'm just gonna grab her hand and just like start licking it.
Can I just turn that hand and just try and slap him?
You certainly can.
Maybe. Oh god. Oh, that was an 8.
Syaanis is like trying to catch your hand with his mouth.
At this point, I think Euron just starts screaming for Kira.
Okay, so speaking of which, Kira, at this point, Aina, as you're experiencing and suffering from these crazy hallucinations, she had a moment of like, go stay, and then she realizes how fucked up you are, and this thing keeps coming out. And she comes over and she's trying to, like, she wants to, like, soothe you and, like, calm you down and comfort you and grab you, but at the same time, she's, like, really afraid with the look in your eye that she's gonna, like, you're just gonna lash out at her. So she's, like, kind of in this really weird, like, half hug, awkward stranger hug thing going on right now. And it's all right, Aina. It's all right. Just calm down. It's gonna be okay. And like as you're running down the street, you don't notice it, but there are several kids that are running with you. Hero of the prophecy, they see you like just host to ass.
Beautiful day for a morning run.
And they're running behind you, screaming just like you are, looking over their shoulder, copying everything you do. And before long, you are well out of the gate of Astoria into the Heartlands, passing all these inns and taverns on the dusty road.
What's that? The old wood over there? Sure. That's where we gotta go anyway.
Oh man. Alright, so after this type of a situation for several long minutes for each of you, one by one, you start coming down from this crazy happening. Your mind starts to clear. Syaanis, you the first thing that hits you is a smell, and it kind of triggers your senses, and you look down and you see this, and you sniff your hands and you realize what you've been doing, and this nauseous, disgusting feeling hits the pit of your stomach. Lycus, when you come to, you are out in the middle of a middle fucking field. There's nothing around. You see a couple of deer on the edge of the old wood. You are somehow gotten between Astoria and the old wood, but everything has been a blur from the point that you walked outside to see Syaanis and Euron.
I fucking have a heart attack. Mind you. Just fall.
You stare
Quite
up in the
literally.
sky.
It's like, I need the nymphs. Where are the nymphs when you need one?
Oh man. I know. After you start to calm down, Kira gets brave enough to kind of reach out and just kind of lightly grab your arm and start kind of like pulling you close, trying to embrace you and make you feel better, and like petting your hair like a mane, whispering nice things in your ear as you stop trembling. And you see Zul and Son of Zul and the dragon fade from your vision, and the roof somehow gets magically restored, and then you start to realize that this was not real. This was, what the fuck was I doing? What happened? So, that's your current situation. I don't know what happened, but it was funny. That's the current situation. What would you like to do now?
Euron snakes are spitting out chunks of gravy because they accidentally inhaled some. And
Gravy.
wiped face and just looks at Syaanis and just goes, "Are you okay now?
I need a bath.
You might need to hurl first. I saw what you were eating."
I mean, look, that's gonna happen eventually, but I need a bath.
"I'll clean up. You go. Just maybe throw me a wet cloth or something. My poor face. I'm already ugly enough." Go. She just sort of shoves him out and just, tries to find the nearest broom. And
It's easy to find.
cursing in
Right there in the
Sylvan on the
kitchen.
way out of just like, "You goddamn motherfucking piece of shit, fuck!" the whole time.
I heard
And, like,
that.
but they're like in counting, like alternately, like, like 1, you goddamn motherfucking piece of shit. 2, like slowly, like actively, like doing the anger management count to 10.
All right.
At least I didn't toss a fucking dish at your face.
No, maybe find out what happened to him too.
I mean, yeah, maybe after I fucking clean
Go
this
bath first. Get out of here. You smell like shit.
All right. I know.
So, like, as I'm realizing it was all just a dream, like, I kind of sink into Kira for just a second, and then, like, I remember who I am. So then I just, like, quickly get up and, like, try to regain some dignity. But I will, like, pat her on the shoulder as, like, an acknowledgement of what she did. But, I'm trying to be, like, or even have it together right now. So, I'll inquire where the others went.
Everyone else left. Syaanis ran out first off, and then Euron followed him in a panic, and Lycus strolled out of here, but I heard some yelling from further up in the inn, and then what sounded like Lycus streaking through the street to the south.
Literally streaking.
I figured you would be the fastest, so if anybody needed to catch anybody, it'd be you, so I was trying to help you.
Okay.
I'll go check on Syaanis.
Okay. I guess I will go after Lycus.
Okay. Alright, so before long, Kira comes outside, sees you with the broom you're on, goes outside, following the scent, finds Syaanis, and after conversing a little bit with her, and you need a bath. Well, perhaps not parading through the streets like this is the best idea for your reputation.
I paid the barkeep not to say anything.
Right, but we need to bathe him, so we could either go in broad daylight down to the river, or go back to the palace and use the private baths there.
I don't want to sully that palace.
I need to. Is there a water pump nearby? Something. Wait,
Everybody
we're in a
just walks
drought.
down to the river. Yeah. I promise you,
Oh, and I just
Hathor
sort of
has
wipe-
sullied those baths way more than you ever could, Syaanis.
Fine. But if I go up there, you need to give me a cloak.
Would you like to borrow my hijab?
Yeah, and fine, I'll fucking wash it while I'm
I've
up
still
there.
got a wig somewhere. I can make it work. Here. And just gets her scarf and like very artfully kind of drapes it around, so the only thing visible is like. Actually, no, we'll go full ham. All you can see is his eyes.
Alright, easy enough. And you grabbed a cloak from Kira, and she walks up to the palace with you, kind of staying, going through the marble arched ways behind all the houses and buildings, staying out of obvious sight, looking around for people.
Euron's trying to
know.
just wipe off anything that's still on her.
Yeah, you got it. You got a damp rag from the barkeep. Same one he uses to wipe the bars.
Those poor customers.
You got it. You see a group of kids coming back in from the gate of Astoria, huffing and puffing, and you could tell from the astonished look of people that Lycus headed in that direction. However y'all want to do this is fine, but Lycus, you can either lay there until she gets up, or you could stand up and do what you're gonna do. I'm gonna leave the scene up to you guys, but that's the setup.
I'm enjoying this beautiful field, clear blue skies, that huge cyclops over there that's not going to eat me. Now I will pick some flowers on my way humbly, walking back to the city kingdom, because there's sure as fuck not going to be any running back to the kingdom. Like, I'm like gimping back to the kingdom because I am hurting. I ain't run that hard that fast in my life. So I think I twisted a hoof. But I'm definitely collecting flowers because I do remember something about snake and frisbee to the back of someone's head. I probably fucked up something that I need to fix with flowers.
That's fair. So you see like us strolling back, picking up flowers along the way, Ina.
And I wave to her.
Lycus, what are you doing?
Flowers?
For what? We have important things to do.
Absolutely.
Come on, let's go.
Can I have a ride? And I like hold out one little flower shakily to you. No. She straight up asked if I was naked.
Well, you said he was shrinking down the street, and he was like, literally, so that's what I thought.
No, he even said he got dressed before he went down for breakfast.
I wasn't listening to him, I was hallucinating.
Fair.
So, Ina will give a very heavy sigh. I will carry you to the city gates and not one step further.
I accept.
And I'll just kind of like toss him behind me.
And I just hold my flowers close and close my eyes as we enjoy this wonderful bumpy ride together.
You see him stretched out. You feel him stretched out on your back. His head at the base of where your human back meets your horse back. His feet hanging off your rear end, just kind of almost like a bed as you're kind of just walking back, and seems to be enjoying himself very much.
I've never been so humiliated in my life. As soon as we get to the city gate, I just like pop my butt end up and just like dump him over unceremoniously. Like, all right, you had your free ride. Let's go. They're waiting for us.
It's not often one is carried in the arms of the goddess. I stand up and trot along beside her.
Alright. So you make your way back to the inn. Euron, you're there. You've gotten most of the muck off. You're just kind of waiting on either whoever you're waiting on, whatever you're doing.
I'm trying to find something cold and put it on the back of my head, and there's this very sad little hissing sound at the back of my head. And I'm like doing like a there, it's okay.
So this is the scene that Ina and Lycus walk in on while Syaanis and Kira are up at the palace.
What happened to the back of your head?
You did. With a plate.
Oh, that was you.
Yes, that was me!
I
suppose you were suddenly just... I mean, I know I'm not exactly pleasant to look at, but
all I can say is I was overwhelmed by fear, and I just lashed out. And it just happened to be you. But you know I would never hurt your pretty little snaky head.
I apologize to Maraka.
I will definitely apologize to Maraka.
A rattlesnake basically pops up.
And I'm like, I'm so sorry, Maraka.
Just a sort of...
So
if
sorry.
a snake can be resentful in a hiss...
It gives you like the...
and then goes back down.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Pull the thing back on.
would bring her some ice, but I don't think it's been invented yet.
Ice hasn't been invented.
Yeah, discovered? Like refrigeration, how to keep ice in a cooler. Ice hasn't been invented.
There's no ice on hand, no.
No. It's the damp barkeep rag, actually, like the one putting spot on it.
There you go.
Just drops it. Kira and Syaanis have gone up to the bathhouse because Syaanis smells like a cesspit or something. The deepest pile of manure you can imagine. That's what he smells like.
Are we to meet them there?
Did Kira say that? Arya forgot.
No, she did not.
I genuinely don't know. I hope they shall return. But they borrowed a cloak because they needed to. It was either bathhouse or go bathe in the river. But I expect they'll be along shortly.
Okay.
All right. So while you were all spending time in the inn waiting on Syaanis and Kira to come back, Syaanis, the bathroom in the palace has been cordoned off for you. It's very large, nice marble. They tapped a hot spring somewhere beneath the rock, and so it's not hot, but it's pleasant enough. And there's all sorts of oils and floral crumblings and things like that. It's fit for a king, quite literally. So, you know, you spend as much time as you need to get clean before Kira starts hurrying you along, saying that, you know, your friends are waiting and everything else. As you begin to get dressed and you walk out, you pass by the palace hall looking for Kira to leave. You notice that she is at the edge of the palace, at the end of the hall itself, listening to an audience the king is having. Glancing in, you see King Pythor there in all of his inebriated glory, sitting kind of slovenly in the chair, hand resting on the handle of the hammer. And a male figure stands before you. He has a bright blue tunic with black breeches and black leather boots. He has very olive-complected skin. You see long brown hair down past his shoulders with streaks of bright blonde in it as well. And he has these slightly almond-shaped eyes and slightly elven-appearing ears. Appears to be a little later than middle age. He holds himself with dignity but exhaustion as he addresses the king. You hear them discussing. You walk in and they're discussing the disappearance of someone. The king seems resigned to the fact that he can't do anything with everything else going on. He can't spare the manpower. You hear the man approaching him speak up. My lord, I served you for years. I tell you that my daughter has been missing for 2 days. And myself and Patreus, we went and searched for her. You can't spare 2 guards to help us track her down? I can't. They're all on the gate, and I appreciate your service there, Cleese, but unfortunately, we both have daughters. Mine definitely in danger, and yours possibly in danger. So after this whole thing blows over, if she's still missing, then I'll be happy to send half the guard out searching for her. But until then, unfortunately, old friend, my hands are very much tied, and regretfully, and I'm sorry. Your Majesty, thank you for the audience. And you see Theracles turn and start walking out of the hall towards the front, and passes Kira, starts slowly walking down the steps outside of the palace with the door wide open, his head kind of bowed.
As he starts like making his way past me, I try like grabbing his attention. Just to like try talking to him. Th- Theracles?
Yeah, yes, and you are?
One of the local heroes. You probably haven't heard of me yet. I hear you might have some trouble.
Indeed, that is true. And you see him
Something about your
look
daughter
past your
missing, yeah?
shoulder. Corina. Yes, she's been gone for 2 days.
Interesting.
Travel with Kira, I see.
Yeah. Met her a couple days. She's been very, very good company. She happened to maybe, possibly have any ideas of who might want to take your daughter for any reason?
No, but if you're interested in learning more, I believe you're a member of a group that came here, the Heroes of the Prophecy. I don't want to keep you from any pressing business.
Of course. Well, just tell me where to meet you and we'll try getting in contact.
I'm exhausted, but I can accompany you if it's easier.
I have a feeling me and my friends might have a bit of a issue we need to work through at the moment. But here. We'll be basically at the tavern next couple days. Try popping in one night. We'll have words.
I will. Thank you, sir.
Anytime.
And takes it and turns, walks off, shoulders slumped. You see him heading from the palace towards the eastern gate, the one that carves through the gorge towards what you all know to be the vineyards of Astoria. Kira slaps her on the back, puts her hands on her shoulder. All right then, shall we go? And proceeds to walk with Syaanis towards the tavern, where they find all of you anxiously awaiting them. Scene is yours.
Well, I'm clean, and I'm empty. At least I smell good now.
Would you like some actual food?
So long as it's somewhere inside. I just want to eat something good. Because I need to get that image out of my head as soon as I can.
I just happen to reach under the table and grab a plate of questionable garbage. Kind of just drop it right there next to him. Be like, I saved you some.
You know that bit in like It's Always Sunny where you just some person gets a thing of cereal, grabs and just whips it?
I just slowly pull out my dagger and I'm like, really?
And I'm like, bleh, bleh. Bleh.
Keep it up, goat man.
I chuckle myself.
Euron just says and just briefly in Sylvan, just like, children, please, and just moves the garbage bolt down.
Okay. We get it. All right. Serious business. Missing wine horn. Goatlings. Fuck them. Saving God King's daughter. And maybe shanking that Sidon fucker. What are we doing?
I think our best course of action would first, we need to go find that horn.
Yes, I think we do.
Oh, by the way, when I was up in the palace, overheard something. We might have our services required after we're done with this.
In what manner?
Well, we might need to go find another missing person.
Who? Who do we need to find? There's centaurs and big single cyclops. I'm sure people are missing all over the place. We're talking about the God King's daughter.
Well, yeah, I even told him, like, hey, look, we need to deal with this first, and then we might be able to help you.
Who was it?
It's, some distinguished-looking elf, I think he was? Was he an elf?
Close, Syaanis. He was Heracles. He's a half-elf. He's a former member of the Guard, quite decorated. Served as one of the personal guards of King Pythor himself until his wedding and retirement. Corina is his adopted daughter.
Okay. Well, that's good to know. Probably should have asked him that when we were up there.
I have a feeling from that, his daughter is missing.
Yeah, and apparently Pythor wasn't able to help, so... Well, we'll cross this bridge when we get to it. So, Goatlings?
Interesting.
Goatlings.
Do we think we can take care of that and then get back to save Honora? Because we're down to 2 days now, right, for her sacrifice?
Yes, the wine festival starts the day after the morrow. Pythor said that the Order of Sidon decreed it should be done prior to the beginning of the wine festival. Overnight. That means we'd have to be back by
Tomorrow
nightfall
night.
tomorrow. Do whatever it is you all decide to do.
I've never been to the Mossy Temple. Is that within a day to get there?
About six hours or so. Based on what I've heard. I've never been there personally.
So we'd have to hoof it there and back.
I'm the only one here who doesn't have hooves, so I don't think we can quite hoof it.
I don't have hooves.
I just look around like, what? Huff it.
And you have hoofs. I was trying to be funny, I guess.
I have wonderfully decorated, manicured.
I'm sure you do.
Cows have hooves.
Then what do you have?
Something more elaborate. Which eludes which eludes me at the current moment.
Clip-clops?
Clip clops. Fucking now on. My clip clops. Let's go. Let's do this. Time is of the essence and we are wasting.
Yeah.
Don't forget to pack a lunch, Syaanis. I'm sure there's plenty lying around. And I pull out my loot. Ding 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 ding.
Euron mimes just whipping her plate at the back of Lycus's head and then goes, no, sit back down.
Alright.
So
Okay, lead on, dear brothers and sisters.
what's the plan? This is DM asking players.
We are going to go find those motherfucking goatlings.
You're chasing down the horn and Balmetria? Okay.
Strumming intensifies. Fuck yeah, go.
Barding intensifies. Alright.
We're going on a goatling hunt.
So. You head out to the early morning light, leaving the Dragon's Tooth. Kira behind you, scribbling down everything that's happened over the past day or so. The market is just starting to bustle with activity. People are coming out, setting up their stalls. People, even as you walk down the street, stopping, looking at you, kids shaking your hand. An old white-haired satyr pops you, like as you pass by for playing too loud. Don't have any respect for old satyrs. Little Cain before going back into his home. You travel on the road south of Astoria, passing all the wooden taverns and inns and all the merchants coming in through the south gate as you go. After a mile or two, you reach a location similar in description to that which the guard gave you. You see open plains off to the right and the old wood directly southwest of you. Need somebody to give me a survival check, please. Whoever is searching, actively looking for the trail, or if multiple are, then whoever rolls, roll with advantage.
I'll roll.
I'll look too, so advantage for you.
Okay. 22.
22. Okay. So getting off the beaten path towards the west, you go 100, 150 feet out or so, and without too much trouble, after looking around for about 10 minutes, you see a very distinct dark trail. It appears that liquid was dropped, very similar to that which you found in the temple itself. It's kind of stained the ground as they headed in the direction of the old wood, continuing southwest.
I will point it out to the party and just keep ushering us along. At the same time, like, I want to be, like, also, like, listening for anything. Do I think we're coming up close to something, or?
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception check. Just to set the scene, it's for about another mile or so. Well, probably more like 2 miles. It's just open plains before you end up reaching the old woods. So seeing anything, nothing is readily apparent visibly.
Okay.
All you really hear is the sound of the soft blowing breeze and the rustling of the grass around you.
Okay. I rolled a 19 on my perception.
Okay. Got it. So, you continue on following the relatively visible trail. It stands out pretty good. And before too long, after another hour or two, you found yourselves in the midst of the old wood proper. The trees, large oaks, were scattered about on the very edges, and then as you get deeper and deeper, the underbrush starts to grow in, the trees grow more tightly packed, casting shadows all around you. And following this wine trail, you eventually come upon a beaten path of sorts. Not so much a full-blown road, but something that I've seen a lot of travel, at least relatively recent. Little twigs snapped and bushes brushed aside, things of that. And here and there you still see the dark red splotches of wine continuing. As you continue towards this direction, the forest grows dark around you. You hear birds and beasts clamoring, kind of hooting here and then the brush shaking over here, and off in the distance a dull roar of some beast you can't see. The rain starts to fall, kind of dropping on the leaves, wetting each of you a little bit. After about 5.5 hours travel, knowing you should be nearing it, your senses heighten, and see the path kind of disappears underneath the thick underbrush in front of you. Continuing forward through this, you see a clearing, sparsely populated with trees, but surrounded on all sides thickly by trees. The canopy is reaching up and over, not really providing any sort of open skylight, but clearing enough that you can see about 100 feet across. As you enter this clearing and glance around, you see the trail continues on across the clearing, and then the sound of birds and beasts suddenly deathly quiet. In the absence of the sound, you can hear yourself breathing and the jostling of armor and weapons from your comrades next to you, and the scribbling of Kira's pen behind you. After another breath, you hear across the clearing the sound of something crashing through the forest. Bushes pushing to the side, footsteps rapidly approaching.
Shield is on.
Hide, 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 hide.
Yeah, my shield is out too at this point.
Okay. Shields up, everybody gets behind trees, and you see a figure dart through the other side, the shadows obscuring most of it until they continue on about halfway through the clearing. You see a young woman, pale skin, brown hair. Her dress is kind of tattered and shredded, and she's muddy, and she seems exhausted and wildly frightened, as if she's being chased by something. She stumbles and falls to her knees and looks around, and then she looks back behind her. You hear more crashing sounds in the distance coming from the same direction following her. Did she get
Back
up
here.
since... Call out to her?
I hiss it. Like I'm maybe off behind my own tree, and I'm
Okay.
like, back here, back here, back
But
here.
she's like 50 feet away, just so you know.
Whistle.
Okay. You whistle, and she kind of
I slide
darts.
even further away from the group.
That's fine.
got it. Whistle. She looks up and peers a second. You, are you really there?
Yes,
Please.
darling. I'm Doc. Come here. Come here.
She starts to climb up, and she kind of slips, and you see her leg kind of like buckles underneath her weight as the muddy surface gives out from underneath her, and she starts kind of
do it, I'm
crawling
trying
on
to-
her hands and knees in your
Try and meet her
direction.
part way and pull her close.
Okay, so you start rushing out.
Yeah. Army crawl. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you start kind of crawling out. This girl is dragging herself along the clearing toward your direction. Is anybody else doing anything? Or just kind of watching and waiting?
I'm
Watch.
watching for the crashing noise. I'm waiting to see what that thing is.
Yeah, I'm more concerned with what's making that noise than I am about the non-bleeding, crippled child.
Okay, you got it.
Got sword in one hand, dagger in the other, just up against one of the trees, just watching.
Okay.
Hurry, hurry, Euron, hurry!
Working on it.
For several long seconds, the girl drags herself forward, and you're on crawling out.
I probably,
You see
if
the
I'm
shield.
going too slow, I'll just go fuck it. I'll get up and I'll just run.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, I don't want to meta. If like Cyclops pops out, Vine minor illusion over the top of them, like overgrowth,
Okay.
kind of obscurity, kind of. They're just plants, you know.
I got it. So that's your intent. That's fine.
That's my intent, depending on what we come to see.
You got it, man. So as Euron gets about 10 feet out, you see her pop up and start charging towards this girl. And just as that happens, Euron and everybody else, you see 6 figures come out from the other side of the clearing, popping out. They're relatively short, humanoid in stature. They go to the clearing, and you see these 6 grotesque, goat-headed looking creatures with matted fur, jagged teeth, a snarl, their eyes wide, too round for their own good, twisted horns, and tattered kind of skirts on their satyr-like legs.
Ah, da, 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 da.
The one that comes out first sees the girl kind of clambering away. You can go ahead if you want to. You can go ahead and pop it or not. Okay.
No, this ain't no Cyclops. These How far away? What was the range? Like
They're about
100 feet?
100. They're about 100 feet away.
100 feet away. Okay. When that bitch is 60 feet away, because they're gonna come chasing, I'm assuming, it's gonna be on.
Okay. I got
I'm
it.
just gonna be like, kill him, Ida. Kill him.
So this first one runs out. Then 5 more come out, and you see the one that comes out first sees her and kind of cocks its vicious little head in a big jagged toothy grin.
Euron
snarls.
scream, like, lets out basically screams something like, get away from her, at that one.
He responds, "Give us the sweetling. We've already had dinner, but she'll make a fine dessert."
Come at me, motherfucker!
I need everybody to roll for
yeah.
initiative.
Right. Right.
Roll for initiative.
Come, kisses, kisses.
Ooh, ooh.
Right.
Good or
That was a
bad?
good.
Very good.
Okay.
That was a good.
Ah!
Ooh, give me a second here. That was loud. What happened?
I
I
dropped
think
it.
fell over with the dice.
All right, so
Ooh!
that sounded good. All right, so 20 to 25. Anybody?
22.
Dirty 20.
Okay.
I rolled a 19.
I also rolled a 19.
All right. 20 to 15. No.
Oh, I rolled a 19.
19. All right.
I rolled a 15.
All right, man. You guys rolled good.
Well, I rolled an 11. I got a +4.
All right. So, let me pull up.
Also possible, just for, visual sake, do you have an image of a goatling?
I do.
May I see what a goatling looks like?
You can.
Oh, no thank you!
Wow, I love Baphomet.
Oh, you don't want to
All
just
right.
hold and squeeze him and give him big hugs and kisses? No? No? No?
Well-
Fuck that guy.
Look, just because you want to squeeze them until they don't breathe. Alright.
All right, close enough. About 50 feet away. So you can all arrange your tokens wherever you would have been on the opposite side of the clearing. Euron, you were out about 10 feet or so. Kira, just know that Kira is with you. I'm taking her off the map. All right.
See the map?
Yes, you are. Should be seeing it now.
Yep.
All right. So, everybody's tokens ready?
How far away did you say I was from Karina? Oh, the girl?
You are. We'll call it 35, 40 feet. So.
Oh, so it's Karina.
It is. Metagame, but yeah, it is. Syaanis, you're up. What are you gonna do?
Alright. I never heard any names. Alright. Ina. Left, I go right.
Sounds good.
Yeah. And then I use my dash, and from where I am, I'm going to move 60 feet to the right. I'd move it, but I'm not entirely sure how much 60 is because they're all still unlocked.
Oh, thank you. Go ahead.
Alright. 60 feet.
All right. Is that it?
And yeah, that's it.
All right. You're on. You're up. What are you gonna do?
Using my full movement, and I'm going to dash, and I'm going to run. I will dash for the last little bit to run right up to her.
Okay.
Girl, and I'm going to just sort of try and put myself, actually maybe a little bit further, just put myself slightly in front of her, and just sort of go, you're going to be alright. You're going to be alright, little one.
All right. You got it.
That's
You
it.
see you're on charge across, and she kind of gets up on the screen and kind of jams her shield in the ground and starts trying to get her up on her feet and protect her. I know you're up. What are you gonna do?
I am going to run this way, kind of like by this boulder. And I have my shield out, but I want to, let me count. I want to, like as I'm running, like pull my chakram out and throw it at, Goatling 5. I can't tell how far I am though, until I move.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Okay, 50, so we're good. Okay. Does a 9 hit?
Sorry, 9 does not hit. Sorry.
Shoot. Okay.
All right.
That's it for me this round.
All right, so Chakram flies out, narrowly misses its head, comes back to you.
Oh, I'll scream. I'm like, there's more where that came from. That was just a warning.
They're laughing at you. Unfortunately, they don't. Yeah, it's a thing. So, Lycus, you're up. What are you gonna do?
I'm going to run right behind. I don't. My character's not on here, so I can't. Oh, there it is.
You were in the
it.
trees. There you go.
Yeah, I got it now. Run right behind her, smack her ass, and say, "Go get him, girl!" And then I'm gonna cast heroism. I'm smacking her rump. She's a horse. Okay. Her rump region. And because I have to touch her to pass the spell on, so I really just inspire her with that battle slap. Yep. And then I cast heroism on her.
As you cast heroism, you certainly feel her tense up and the rage start to well inside of her. Yes.
And she feels imbued with bravery. Yes. She will gain 3 temporary hit points every round. Not cumulative, just recycles back to 3. So if she takes damage, you subtract 3 every time.
100%. You got it. All right. So, Goatling's turn. Let's see. So they start charging towards Arena in the middle. Euron, you see all these goatlings start descending upon you, mouths open, tongues hanging out, just starting to scramble towards you like they're going to jump and zerg all over you. But then, as the lead goatling gets to you, you see him kind of stop for a second. He looks around, sniffs the air, his eyes grow wide, and he turns slowly. And you see this flash of bright blue kind of cross over his eyes. You notice he's staring at Syaanis. The Lady of Dreams sent us a morsel. And you see them all completely change their intent and rush directly at Syaanis. Alright. Syaanis, you see all these creatures running straight at you with murder in their eyes, arms flailing, hoofs beating on the ground. Shouting jeers at you.
There's not any that like rush past me, right? I can't hit any if they run by.
They all would have been far enough away from you.
Just for funsies, I've got my arm like over Korea and I'm holding her like it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
You got it. Syaanis, you're up. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna start moving over towards where like Lycus and Ina are.
You bastard! Go away!
And then I'm gonna prep a dodge.
Okay.
With my cunning action.
Cunning action dodge. Too easy. So attacks against you have disadvantage for the moment. Is that it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Euron, you're up. What are you gonna do?
Is she injured?
A quick glance, you can tell there's something wrong with her leg. If you wanted to get more in-depth information, you have to take an action to kind of inspect her.
Can you walk?
I'm trying. And every time she kind of gets up and puts weight on it, it kind of buckles underneath her. And you see various other scrapes and bruises as well, but...
Alright, I'm gonna put her arm over my shoulder and try and sort of haul her off to the side. Maybe sort of... Just making sure, does that impair my movement at all?
That would be a grapple and a move, basically. So, half movement.
I can't highlight me because I'm directly on top of her.
Yeah, no worries. I got you.
Just sort of move. There we go. Thank you. Let's sort of move her away from as far as I can, move her away from the battle.
Okay, so you drag her across the field and kind of prop her up against a tree and turn around to face the enemies. Anything else?
Does that count as an action still?
It does.
Okay, right. Then, I just want to quickly look at one last thing. No, okay. No, just sort of pat her up, pat her like and go, all right. We'll make sure they don't hurt you, and sort of. I'm basically going to start running to join the friends and make sure they're okay.
Okay, yeah. You got it.
Yeah.
All right, Ina, you're up. What are you going to do?
Oh, I'm going to pull out my warhammer and run at this guy, Goatling 2.
All right.
Enrage.
Okay.
The whole way over there. Like, oh, y'all weren't scared when I tossed something at you? Like, you're about to be very afraid.
All right.
23.
A 23 is a hit. Yeah.
I gave them a shot. I gave them a chance. Okay, for 12 damage.
Okay. So Ina puts that shotgun away, grabs her warhammer, charges across, letting out a vicious battle cry. Brings the warhammer down straight on the goatling's head. You hear a sickening and slams it into the ground, and you see it kind of like form a little bit of a divot as his head gets buried in and is motionless. Done. Anything else?
I kind of like, as I like retract my warhammer, like I splatter like the blood on myself, and I look at the other goatlings, and I'm like, who's next?
All right.
That's
you
hot.
got it. Lycus, you're up. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna just fucking give an applause because that was glorious. Then I'm gonna target this ugly fucking goatling right behind. I jump behind my rock, but I'm gonna pull out my little pan flute, and then I'm gonna shoot this fucker. I'm gonna use my crossbow expert, so it's just gonna be a flat roll, because I want this bitch dead. I aim for the weak spot, as right the jugular, and that's a 4.
Okay,
so,
and you meant sharpshooter, right?
Yeah, that one, yeah, sharpshooter.
Okay. Yeah.
So I rolled a 4. I mean, that was right here. That passed right across his periph. You know, he saw that fucking needle just going, and I want him to know where it came from. You
could tell that it crossed right in front of him, and it was impossible for him to not see that dart fling across. But he seems entirely fixated on Syaanis. Yeah,
and then I'm gonna scream at Syaanis, like. You got this! You got it! We got you, bro! You're okay! You're safe! Bardic Inspiration, and then I'm gonna hide behind a rock. Not hide, okay. I'm going to tactically retreat in case they throw things at Syaanis, and I'm safe behind the rock. So Bardic Inspiration for us, or for Syaanis.
Yep, you got it. Alright, so, Goatling's turn. Let's see, Goatling 1, as he's rushing towards you, Syaanis. Oh, you're going to die, pretty one, and you're going to taste so good. I need you to give me a wisdom saving throw.
And you can use your Bardic Inspiration if you need to.
Yeah, and I will. So, do I add...
Whatever you roll, you add it to your wisdom save.
Okay. Alright. Alright, so that in total gives me a 14.
Okay. You stare back, stealing your mind against this strange effect that starts to kind of pull at your soul. That was number 1. Number 2. And number... I'll take that back. Yeah, number 2 and number 6 rush at you. And number 3 and number 4, you see them whip out a pair of slings Does a 10 hit you?
No.
All right. And 11. Does an 11 hit you?
No.
All right. So as these two goatlings rush at you, you see two fist-sized rocks fly next to you. Did you dodge left and right? As these two come in, they have disadvantage on attack rolls.
Ina, hit them.
14. Does a 19 hit you?
Yeah.
Okay. And 15.
Also, yeah.
All right. So the first one clambers on and jumps on top of you. It starts pulling on your hair and gouging at your eyes and ripping at your shield and kind of clawing at your neck, doing everything it can to completely throw you off. So for now, while this thing is grappling you and completely tearing at you, you have disadvantage on attacks, saving throws, and ability checks while you are grappled by it. And the other one is going to lunge out, and now that you are completely engaged with this one, it kind of grabs your leg and tears into your thigh and rips out a big chunk, and you're going to suffer 6 points of piercing damage.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm coming!
All right. So, that was Gootling's turn. Syaanis, you're up. What are you going to do?
I'm gonna try tearing the one that's like grappling me off.
Okay. So you can either try to force it off, or you could try to like maneuver out of the way. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm just gonna try like maneuvering him off. Like.
Okay. So go ahead and give me Dex. It's going to be acrobatics or athletics with
Okay.
disadvantage because you're grappled by him and he has that ability.
Alright. Acrobatics or athletics. So
Yeah.
does an 11.
All right. So he goes, gouge your eyes. You rip its hand and twist it back at the wrist, and he kind of crumples to the ground and rolls away and gets back up and starts lunging at you again. But you are free for now.
Okay. And I can attack with my.
That was your action.
Right. Yeah. Then I'll use my my bonus action to use my 2 weapon fighting, since I had sword in one hand, dagger in the other. So I'll.
Two weapon fighting only works if you take the attack action with your main hand.
Oh, okay. Shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I will. Yeah. Then I'll just dodge.
Okay. You dodge again. Got it. Disadvantage. That's it. Euron, you're up. What are you gonna do?
Just gonna use 30 movement, run up to a goatling 6, so this one, and I'm just gonna try and, short sword out, try and smack a bitch.
All right,
Flank
go for it.
him.
Does a 16 hit?
16 hits.
Alright, that's 7 damage then.
All right. Come behind it. It seems completely engaged. This is the one that Santa just threw off. As he rolls a little bit and get back up, the short sword slashes down inside of his back and pins him to the ground. You rip it out, and he doesn't get up at all. He's done.
Yes. Actually, yeah, no, I'm not gonna. Yeah, no, I'm good. That's it.
Okay. Ina, you're up.
Okay, I am going to step up to goatling number 5 here and
Okay.
whack a goatling. 18.
18 hits.
For 11.
Okay. So as Euron rips that short sword back out, Ina hops over the dead goatling and bam, slings a warhammer across, slamming into the ribcage of the goatling and sends him flying 5 feet away, where he rolls and never gets up again. Good job. Anything else?
I'm just like screaming, "This is for Thylea," and I'm just like with like bloodlust looking for my next target.
That is so
Alright.
hot.
All right. Lycus, you're up. What are you gonna do?
Down, kitty. I'm just like,
I can look.
Goatlings. This is so hot. Why don't you get in this fight? God dang it! No, I'm just joking. You massacred that thing. All right, round 2. This goatling. I'm just like, fuck this goatling. Like, I want to be so angry, but I'm definitely not gonna get face to face with this thing. So going for that sharpshooter again. That is a 12. That's
All right.
not gonna work.
You see the goatling whip out, swing, and you let a dart fly and kind of hits the sling as it's spinning around. Just really shitty luck.
Shit!
Yeah.
And now hide back
Sorry,
behind
man.
my rock.
That's it?
Yep.
All right. Goatlings are up. This one going to shift over to the right. He whips out his sling, and these two shift over to the left. And they all start just pelting rocks at Syaanis. You're still dodging, right? Yes. So does a 15 hit Syaanis?
Yes.
A natural 1 does not. And does a 10 hit Syaanis?
No.
All right. So, rocks start flying all around Euron and Ina and Syaanis. Syaanis is dodging out of the way. One goes completely out of nowhere. The second one pings off of his shield on his back, but the third one comes in and slams on his shoulder, knocking him back a little bit. You're going to take 5 points of bludgeoning damage. Syaanis, you're up. What are you going to do?
All right. Do I know which one hit me?
Let's see. 1, 2, 3. That would have been
All of
Goatling
them?
number. They're all going for you. That would have been the one furthest to the east. Goatling 3.
I'll get that one.
All right. You. That one. Me. This one. And then I point straight at the one like right in front of me, Goatling 4.
Okay.
And then I just chuck one of my daggers like square at his face.
Go for it.
Just a sec.
You see Syaanis, he gets knocked back by the boulder that hit him, and he has a spear in his right hand. In one swift movement, he comes back around to face the goatling, and you see his left hand fling up from his belt. A dagger goes flying through the air.
And I rolled a 17.
17 slams into his midsection just above his right hip. He doubles over in pain. Go ahead and roll damage.
Alright, 1d4 plus 3. And that'll be 7 damage.
7 damage. You see as he stands back up, he slowly rips the dagger out and kind of licks it, smiling at you, before his legs kind of crumble and falls to the ground.
That's just weird.
Anything else?
Alright, guys. Let's clean this up.
Alright, you're up.
I'm going to take a nice run at Goatling 3 and short sword out. He wants to taste blood. I'm going to give him something nice to taste. I'm just going to try and shove the sword square down his throat. If possible.
You got it.
If I can swing it. If I don't hit it, I'm action surging and hitting him again.
Let's see what happens.
Ooh, that's a 14.
14's a hit.
Yes, 5 damage.
Alright. So you're on charge across the field with the shield out, slams the shield into his chest, knocks him off guard, and then spins the sword down, slashes into his throat. A giant wound appears, blood starts pouring down before he falls over backwards, dead. Anything else?
Hold on, I just want to work out distance. I could do this! Alright, that's not moving, that's just distance. Action surge, Can I grab my spear, or is that a whole action just to switch to it?
It'd be a whole action because you had your short sword and your shield out,
Never
right?
mind, then disregard everything I just said.
Okay. Is that it?
Yeah, that's gonna be it. I don't think I can swing. I don't think I can swing what I want to have happen.
Alrighty, Ina, you're up.
I'm just gonna turn around and look at Goatling 1 and just like laugh and kind of like saunter as much as a centaur can saunter. Just like drinking in the fear I see forming on his face, which is now canon. And swing my warhammer at him.
Everybody making cannon.
And I rolled a crit! So he dead.
He's auto dead, yeah.
How dead is he?
He's dead on both sides.
How do you kill him?
You start sauntering up. Describe this for me, because that was pretty reckless. That was badass.
Okay, so just kind of like sauntering up, and he's so afraid. I actually think the fear of me stopped his heart. Because by the time my warhammer touched him, he just fell over.
Just ragdoll. Nice.
Euron just sheathes her sword and just goes.
I prance for a little bit, and I'm like, oh shit, yeah. I'm a grown-ass centaur. I don't prance, but very pleased with myself.
In
All
bloodlust,
right.
you're prancing.
Yes.
Prancing bloodlust. Okay, so the last goatling falls. You look around, you see these hideous, malformed, disgusting bodies, matted fur, blood all over the place. They're all in their death. They still retain that sarcastic, sadistic grin as their lifeless eyes stare into the sky, or even almost seems like they stare at you. Rena is over there against a tree. She's kind of holding on to her right ankle with both hands, kind of half in shock, half crying, and also her shoulders are kind of relaxed as there's a little bit of relief creeping in.
I'm gonna run over and run up to Karina, and I'm gonna, grab my healer's kit, and I'm gonna try and see if we can do something about that ankle.
Okay.
I can never remember how much it is to roll for that.
Just give me a medicine check.
Medicine check. I'm not doing skill checks with this die anymore. That's a 5.
5. Okay. So,
her ankle's fucked.
No. It was more of a sprain than anything. You start to get your different tools and implements out, and you realize that, based on your training and the injuries you've had going full hard, that it probably just needs to be kind of wrapped a little bit for support, and it won't roll as easily. And after treating her, she tests it with her weight, stands up using 3 as stabilization, and she's able to kind of stand up. And thank you so much. I thought I was dead like my friends. Oh, I hadn't come along. Now what would have happened?
Real quick question. Who are you exactly?
My name is Karina. Who are you?
Suddenly, you see Syaanis' face just kind of light up, hey, wait, we actually have some business with you. Nothing to worry about, but I met your dad back in town.
You met my in Astoria. Which one?
Which one?
Theracles?
Did you meet Theracles or Petraeus?
I met Theracles.
What? Was he looking for me?
Yeah, he was trying to
gone?
get some support to come and find you.
You told us that everyone forgot about us.
Well,
Who
I can
told
tell you
you?
right now, that's bullshit.
Who told you?
The Lady of the Woods. The beautiful woman. She came to us when we were harvesting fire lilies for the wine festival. She said if we came with her, she'd make us beautiful and give us all the money we could ever need to take care of our
You already
families.
are beautiful.
I'm just gonna shoot Euron the look of Demetria.
Euron's gonna look back and be like, Demetria.
Alright.
Actually, DM, this is just because I can't remember. Because Euron's met Maenads. Were they pretty as well?
I wouldn't say pretty. Yes, in a very grotesque and sickening way.
So
like they
it
had
was not
fine features, but it was a very corrupted beauty.
Okay, so it wasn't a raving one. Okay.
And as you two were thinking this, she actually was going to say anyway. Her name was Demetria, and she said if we came with her, my friends and I, so we followed her to the temple.
Which way?
That way. She points to the way she just came from.
Alright, look. You stay with our friend here. We're gonna go take care of that.
No, I can't. My friends are still there. The only reason I ran was because Glorious told me that if we stayed, we'd be doomed to something worse than death. I didn't know what he meant, but he was so earnest, it frightened me, so I ran and monsters chased me. My friends are still there. If they're there, I need to be with them. I need to help.
How can you help?
I know the way. I know.
You can lead us back, but you cannot enter the temple.
We don't want you to get hurt. We already know they're dangerous.
And you'll see your friends.
And I don't
Just
think
after
your
we're done with
fathers
this
would
temple.
forgive us if you did not come home.
Right.
If you'd like, I can leave you
Insist.
something to fight with in case they come after you.
You can, but
You stick them with the pointy end, my darling.
I'll do my best. Be careful, please. Demetria was amazing. She was so charming, and everyone just fell in love with her. If you find Glorious, he's the one who warned me. If what he said is true, which I believe him, you may want to take his advice.
How many of your friends were there?
4 of us, but there was more when we got there. People I'd never met before.
Lead the way. Do you need help walking?
I think I can manage. Just catch me if I fall. So she starts slowly walking. Are you gonna say something?
Yes. Like as we're walking, because I definitely want to get on progress. But I want to ask her if she saw the horn, a horn. She heard talk about a horn.
The horn. I thought you must be talking about the horn of Valmitria. I could have swore that was it, but I didn't know why it would have left the dragon shrine. But yes, it's there. I saw it several times. The goatlings were drinking from it like it was a giant wine sack. I don't know where they keep it, but it made its rounds. Sometimes they let us drink from it.
What happens when you drink from it?
For me, it was just really a strange yet wonderful tasting wine. There are other things that they give us to eat and drink which made us feel very wonderful. But the wine from the horn itself didn't do anything else for me.
Okay.
As we're starting to make our way out there, I'm just gonna crack open one of my potions of healing.
Okay. As you make your way deeper into the old wood in the direction of the Mossy Temple, Trina slowly leading the way, Kira walking with you. As you make your way deeper into the old wood in the direction of the Mossy Temple, Trina slowly leading the way, Kira walking with you. As you make your way deeper into the old wood in the direction of the Mossy Temple, Trina slowly leading the way, Kira walking with you. As you make your way deeper into the old wood in the direction of the Mossy Temple, Trina slowly leading the way, Kira walking with you. Come to a darkened clearing, and 7 large standing stones here before you, each twice as tall as a man. Small creatures occasionally darting through the brush here and there. Something about this place strikes you as almost sacrosanct, but in a uncomfortable way. Staring out into the shadows. That's where we're going to take a break. And we're back. I need to work my radio announcer voice. So, after successfully getting through the Goatling attack on Karina and proceeding into the Old Wood, walk through the trees and you find yourselves in front of these 7 very large standing stones. They seem to have been roughly hewn from some time very, very far in the past. Again, about 10 feet tall, give or take. The canopy itself is less thick here, clears out a bit, and you see little streaks of sunlight coming in through the rustling branches. Rain continues to fall all around you. Of these standing stones, see climbing up and growing in a splotchy pattern on them is thick, almost fur-like looking green moss, and they're arranged in a half-moon circle standing before you. Ancient sanctity of this place impresses itself upon you, and you get a very strange ethereal sense standing in this environment. Karina, standing with you. I ran through here, just a couple 100 feet southeast of here. The trees are very thick, as you can see, but it's on the other side, at least the way that I came out. How much further would you like me to go? I'm happy to go with you the whole way. You just said not to.
Yeah, I think you can wait here.
Kira, are you
Everyone
willing
agree?
to stay with her?
Yeah, no,
Apparently we're all muted.
what?
Marco!
Can y'all not hear each other?
I mean, we can all hear each other.
I
think.
can hear you.
Yeah, like we can hear each other, just
Joey,
apparently...
can you hear us?
Yeah, I hear everybody just fine, and it's showing up on the stream. As far as my audio stuff. Chat,
heard it on
are
the
we... Okay, alright, well, if anybody in the chat, if anybody watching is having issues, try refreshing the scene. Let us know if it persists, please.
Kira, would you mind?
Oh yeah, we were all being quiet, okay. Eraser, you need to listen better.
We were soaking in the vibes, bro.
I mean, I turned down my mic so I wouldn't be, shouting the whole time, but still.
We turn you up then. Even that out. Okay. Well, honestly, I can stay with her. It's up to all of you. I mean, I prefer to be with you, recording everything and being the happy bee that I am, but
We'll fill you in.
Can I look around and
purpose
see
is
if there's
better
a good
served
spot?
here.
Can I look around and see if there's a good spot where Karina could hide?
Yeah, go ahead and give me a perception check.
Goes out. 7.
7.
First half
Okay.
of this was all the good rolls.
You see a lot of trees. There's some really thick bushes. Honestly, if someone was quiet and still and they were trying to hide, they'd probably be able to hide pretty well, just because things are so thick outside of this immediate area. So
Then, my dear, once you find a good spot to hide, and we'll come
Right.
grab you when we're done.
I'll be quiet and look out for you. You see she walks back the way you came, and then you see her kind of turn right off of the semi-beaten path. You hear some rustling sounds before everything goes quiet. Did y'all intend for Kira to stay with you or go with her?
Oh god, no. She's sticking around.
Okay. All right.
In we go.
Ina and Syaanis. As your group is looking around, you notice on the nearest standing stone, to your right, the closest one, this little bitty woodland creature kind of jumps off from a nearby tree branch, hops on top of the standing stone, and it catches your eye because he kind of perks up a little bit, and you can tell now that it's a squirrel with a very bushy tail, mostly gray with black spots, and it kind of takes a little nut out of its cheek, and then chucks it, and kind of taps Lycus in the head, and then falls down on the ground. And it's kind of looking at you.
I eat the nut.
Takes another one out. Right on your cheek. Falls to the ground.
I ate that one too.
It jumps back in the branches.
I follow that little fucker.
Okay. You walk over to the trees. As you pass the standing stone, you can feel it's excessively cold. Just because of its composition, and you can feel that cold radiating on your skin as you walk by it, even penetrating your fur. And you kind of look around for it, and then you see it scurry into view in the thick branches overhead, and now its cheeks are really, really full.
Oh,
It takes one
nice.
out. Ching! Wham! Smacks you on the shoulder.
Is there
I just look
anything
at I just
strange?
look at
looking-
everybody, and they're all just watching this like, and I'm just sitting there like, fucking animal fae. I'm either gonna eat and destroy this thing, or let's follow it and see. I've been around the fae long enough. When a squirrel throws a nut at you, follow it.
Now,
I
I
think.
try to whistle at it like a little
Just
tune.
wait, just follow it. Squeak,
Alright.
squeak, squeak. We're just gonna go nuts. I'm gonna follow our stupid fucking squirrel.
She's just gonna like gently slap him on the back of the head, like.
Do
a
I
little-
feel any compulsion to sit on the standing stone?
Roll an insight check.
Sit on the standing stone.
I know. I got it. It was funny. I'm laughing on the inside much harder than on my face, I promise.
Ah, I tried. Insight, that is a 11.
Okay. Not really. You get more of a
No?
curious sensation than anything. And as you're sitting there pondering and everybody else is looking, it kind of hops onto that first standing stone again, and then hops over two more, and then this one out, and you see it nail Ina on the hindquarter and fall down.
Wait a minute. It threw one at me on the first one, and it threw one at her on the third one. They're like, Ina, entertain me. Go step on that one, and I'm gonna go take my place on the first one.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be like, I got you, little buddy.
He's like 10 feet tall.
How do you
Oh.
expect me to get up there? I am massive, and a horse on the bottom.
As you're thinking, it hops over
Is there
to
any like nice symbol or anything like that on the stones, or are they just smooth?
give me a perception check.
I didn't know if maybe it had a
Please let me
like
roll
a
better.
ladder
Please
or
let
a
me roll
ramp.
better. Please let me roll better.
Yeah, see, like at
That's
least
a
judging
9.
by the map that we have, I just thought they were like
I
little
thought they were discs.
pedestals.
Yeah.
You said they were 10 feet tall.
I missed the tall part. I heard like 10 feet wide.
What was your perception check?
9.
Okay. So you go over to the stone that it's kind of perched on, and you look up and down, glance around a little bit. You touch it. It feels cold, kind of condensation on it. And the squirrel kind of like scurries down on the moss and gets by your foot and looks up at you. It spits one out and throws one on your foot. And it scurries over to a boulder closer to Syaanis and throws it. Ricochets off the shield on Syaanis' back.
All right, where do you want me to go?
You get the sense that this thing is just kind of hopping around and throwing acorns at you at random. There doesn't seem to be a rhyme or reason for it.
No. Go with it. Trust me. We gotta trust this thing.
I would like to stare very intently at this squirrel and see if I can tell if it's being a trickster little shit.
Yeah, that's the thing. Lycus is convinced. Y'all don't know. Lycus is convinced that this is a...
Yes, Euron is going to investigate the squirrel.
And I'm like, no. Trust the squirrel. No, we're not. We gotta do something here.
Lycus, shut the fuck up, darling. I'm inside checking the squirrel. Is it fucking with us?
Yeah, you can roll an insight check.
No, flat roll. All right, come on, sweet.
As you're staring at it, it hops off that little rock it threw at Syaanis and runs over to you. You're looking at it as it clambers up your armor and gets up next to your head and starts staring at your eyes really, really close. You feel its breath on your cheek as you're trying to figure it out, and it kind of... a nut comes out and slams into your cheek and falls down on the ground.
Euron is going to try and grab the squirrel and just yeet it.
Alright. Give me an athletics check so you can try and grapple the squirrel.
Yes, okay, this is why I'm a soldier. That is a dirty 20. So 16 plus 4.
It rolled a 1. So as soon as that nut comes out, hits you in the cheek, you react. Flam! You slam your hand up and grab it by its torso. Its cheeks bulge even more, and several nuts fall out. And then
to hell with you, Scrat! Yeet!
You bring it back, and you feel this immense weight on your arm before you can bring it forward. And this squirrel, everybody else sees, just rapidly kind of a flurry of movement and tumbles on the ground in the form of this old white-haired, white-bearded forest gnome with brown clothing on it, kind of tattered. He's shoeless, he's hairy, he's got hair coming off his ears and his nose. His eyes are bright white blue, and it's kind of he's sitting on the ground. He's got his knees up staring at Euron.
Half the snakes are out just like listen, like in this like sort of, you know, like cobra sort of things out, partly doing that, and Euron's just staring at him.
It looks around you.
And I holler out, I knew it! I said follow the fucking squirrel! But no!
We're not following the fucking squirrel!
And I'm not even like admitting the point that it's a gnome now. I'm be like, squirrel, tell me you weren't doing that on purpose. Tell me you weren't trying to get me up there. You wanted that horse up on that third fucking platform, didn't you? Come on, squirrel.
As Euron is shouting and Lycus is shouting at it, it kind of looks around wide-eyed and kind of scurries on the ground, getting over on all fours, and scurries behind Ina's back legs and is looking out between them. And you see him start like looking around, and then he stops and looks down and starts picking up like little flowers and nuts and just starts shoving them in his cheeks.
It's a squirrel trapped in the body of a gnome. Got it.
He's sighing. She's just gonna crouch down, sort of where she can see the gnome through Ina's legs. Just go. What way's the temple?
And looks up at you. Goes back to eating nuts. And scurries over, goes by Syaanis, kind of all fours sniffing. It goes over by Kira and like paws at her traveling dress, and then goes over by the trees, starts eating nuts off the ground, shoving them in his cheeks. His cheeks are bulging now.
Let's just go.
Yeah, we don't have very much time to waste.
What the fuck is... Come on. Nothing.
If you want to stay and figure out this little puzzle you feel like you have found yourself in, do so, but I am going to continue on because we have to get back. We have a timeline.
Fine. Bye, little squirrel stuck in a gnome's body.
So, here it comes behind you all. Where are y'all going? There's a path that leads to the south, and it's kind of cleared out, and there's a path that leads to the west.
Which one did Karina say that she had come from?
You get the sense...
Southeast.
Yeah, she said southeast in general. The path to the south seems much more beaten. Kind of, it's pick your poison kind of a thing. They both seem to head in the same general direction.
All right, guys. I think if we follow the beaten path, we might run into something. But if we go around the back, we might be able to sneak in on them. Maybe get the jump on it. Maybe.
I'll take that.
Do I feel like I would fit on the non-beaten path? Like, is that tree canopy that I'm seeing that's encroaching upon the trails, or?
It's a rough estimation of the tree trunks and the brush and the canopy overhanging, yeah. So, but no, you would fit. You would fit just fine. You might have some branches rubbing on your shoulders because you're 8 feet tall, and it seems like it's cleared a lot more closer to the ground, but yeah.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I'm super game for the road less traveled.
Okay. Tokens are unlocked, so you can go travel along the unbeaten path. The branches scraping at you and the green hitting your heads as you continue on. You see it comes to a T, to the left and right. To the left, you see the path extends back. Not exactly in the direction you came, but more towards the northeast, away from the direction indicated. And the path to the right heads south. And you see it meets up with what is probably the beaten path going from the other direction, and then directly to the south, a much wider path with several large broken pillars crumbling in the center of before you, completely covered much more thickly with moss and vines and overgrowth. It's almost hard to even see them as pillars at this point. Who's in the back?
Ida and me.
Yeah, it looks like me and Legos.
All right. So both of you, as Syaanis is up in front looking around, and your senses heightened, hear kind of a scurrying sound behind you. That's behind you, and you see old forest gnomes kind of scurrying behind you on all fours, kind of staying to the sides and acting all crazy. And when you look at him, he goes back and shoving more nuts in his cheeks. After a few seconds of this, you see kind of creeps up closer, curiously, quizzically at you, and then a flurry of movement. He vanishes back into the form of the gray squirrel you first saw, and he skimpers up, his cheeks full of nuts, and climbs up on Euron, perched on his shoulder, looking around.
That would be interesting.
And point
But no.
to I'm gonna point toward the pillar, and then I'm gonna point in the other direction, and then look at the squirrel, see if it reacts to which way I point.
It picks up a little hand and it seems to be mimicking you.
And pat it on the head.
Pat you on the cheek.
My buddy.
This is a long shot. What was the name of the friend that Karina said? My brain wants to say. My brain wants to say Lena. Pardon?
Loris. Loris.
Loris? No reaction. Okay.
All right, guys, out towards the stones. Yeah.
Yes.
Whatever you think is good. I can't see from back here.
Yeah, y'all will lead in the way.
Yeah. And just gonna try slowly make my foray forward.
Okay.
And sneaky though.
As you continue on the path towards the south, The ruined, ancient, marble-ish architecture suddenly seems to come out of the tree line and just looms over you in enormity. What at first you thought were trees approaching the end of the path, you realize are actually more of these towering pillars of fluted marble, likewise overgrown with vines and moss hanging off of it all over the place. You see they're standing in 2 rows, marching toward a massive stone temple facade. The ruins are in many places toppled and shattered, lying in crumbles around you. Meanwhile, in this clearing, you see the giant ancient oak tree, once forming the canopy over you. The roots have burst up out of the ground in several places, and dozens of these gigantic tree roots, as wide as a man's torso, wind their way throughout the clearing, climbing over the fallen pillars, going through them, rupturing the walls of the temple in a very crisscross, intertwined, web-like fashion.
Alright. Well, looks like we found the entrance, guys.
Any sound?
No, using previous perception checks, so you don't hear anything that you haven't been hearing.
Alright, just slowly gonna try and make my way to where the pillar is, and just kind of like ducking under it and trying to like look over to see if I can see anything inside.
And then look at the squirrel and go, shh.
Okay. So it looks back at you and Syaanis, as you creep up to the pillar, kind of half hiding yourself amongst the roots, you see the wall of the temple stretches to the left and to the right on either side, and there is an opening in the temple wall to the left-hand side, and the wall kind of corners off towards the south, and you get the sense that you're looking at the side of the temple with the front of it to your left and the rear of it to your right.
Okay.
Syaanis, what do you think is the best plan of attack to enter?
I think we should go in the back.
Okay.
So I start pushing over this way.
Easy enough. What's everybody else doing?
I will follow Syaanis.
I will follow real sneaky like.
Yeah, I'll kind of hang. I'm following, but I'm hanging back a little bit because I'm not so sneaky.
I let out a deep sigh.
Shh.
And I just like, fine. And I follow Ina.
Okay. As you kind of let out in exasperation and then you start to walk again, you see a bulging wave of movement as Euron and Ina cross over these gargantuan trees. 2 of them lash out.
So at that moment, I go, oh no, look out, be careful, danger, warning. But everyone else hears is, ah!
You got it. Euron, as this tree root sweeps out from underneath your legs and slashes across your body, you take your shield and deflect it, the weight of it shoving you back, and the squirrel goes tumbling before scurrying back up on you. Ina, this root comes between your legs underneath your torso and threatens to wrap you up from underneath, and you dart forward out of the way. But several more of these roots start writhing and shifting to try and lash out at both of you. You hear this creaking, vibrating sound from behind you, Syaanis, and obviously everybody else sees what's going on. What would you like to do?
Run.
Yeah, like they. Yeah, I'm just gonna try motioning them all like out of the way.
Okay, so Euron darts over the tree roots, careful not to trip as they're shifting and moving underneath her, coming to rest on the pillar next to Syaanis. Ina, Lycus?
I'm gonna try to do the same. I'm gonna try to just get through it as fast as possible and just swing my warhammer to
Okay.
help clear the way.
Easy enough. So Ina charges through, slamming her warhammer against these giant roots as they come up to slap at her and hit her out of the way. You make it without any significant further issue, up to where Euron and Syaanis are. Lycus, you're following her? Or?
I jumped on her back. I actually rode the tail. No. No, I know I have to call it early. Yeah, no, I follow right behind as she smacks them away. I'm like, ha! With my short sword. Yeah.
Okay.
Team effort.
You got it. You make it through relatively unscathed, and as you step onto the ancient marble floor of the Mossy Temple, the roots kind of shift back into their original place, motionless once more.
Let's not forget those are there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is my
Yeah.
squirrel buddy okay?
He seems as fine as he did before.
Pat pat.
Okay.
Pat, pat.
The little path behind us is. Can I like see through that?
Yeah, you can. You see it leads to an opening, a little copse of trees, and then another path extends back up towards the right.
Okay.
Get the sense it just kind of loops around.
That's probably the safe path.
Well, now we know.
There's probably a reason why it's well traversed. What just...
Oh.
Would you like some feta cheese with that salt?
Oh my god, you have feta? Oh, I forgot these dried fruit rations. Absolutely.
Alright.
I'm literally
Later.
just like waiting. Cheese? Cheese me.
I'm just gonna
She's
make
just
my
gonna
way towards
like gently flick him in the forehead and just like joke like us.
I drink from my wine. Oh, we've been raided by 15 by Drake.
Hey, thanks, Drake. Welcome, Raiders.
Alright.
So, you see
I'm just
Syaanis
gonna make
creep
my
up to the
way
corner.
to the corner just to like see if I can see down the back of the temple.
Yeah, easy enough. In the dim light, permeating through the tree branches above, you see what you correctly assume to be the back of the temple. It seems relatively intact, aside from some general crumbling pieces of ancient marble on the ground in front of you. And then, of course, it moves back around to the east.
I just call back over my shoulder like, hey guys, there's nothing back this way.
I would like to look a little further down the wall this way. Is that a door I see further down?
It's not a door. Closer to you, you see where the wall has been broken in several places, leaving a sizable gap. It kind of arcs up about 12 to 15 feet in jagged fashion. And then further down, you see that a decorative corner stands up, and you assume that the front of the temple, because it seems like there's some steps just past that as well, leading off the side.
So there's a gap in the wall, sort of
Yes.
a crack. Can I take a look and see if I can see anything through it, or is it just, you
Sure.
know... Yeah, I'd like to try, at least.
Go for it.
Please, roll better tonight. Please. Hey! Dirty 20!
All right.
I've either rolled shit or dirties.
So you see Syaanis creeps off towards the rear. Euron creeps up to the giant jagged crack in the wall of the temple. Ina, I'm assuming Lycus is just kind of hanging out. Ina, you do anything in particular, or just kind of watching?
No, I'm just kind of seeing where they enter, so I can follow when they do.
Okay.
But I'm a little hesitant because of mimic doors and temples, you know.
I don't know what you're talking about. All right, so Euron, glancing around this room, you see that this is an antechamber of sorts, a welcome area. Vaguely familiar with that of the Temple of the Oracle. It is general rectangular composition, a large statue in the middle. You see it's shrouded in darkness with the roof almost entirely intact except for faint rays of light coming in through the entrance and several holes in the roof illuminating the center of it. As you enter this room, the smell of old, wet, damp earth overwhelms your sense. You also see, more in the center of the room, reflecting the little bit of sunlight rays coming in, a bronze shield. Seems ancient just from the general wear and coloration of it, and it seems to be broken in a jagged line in two, falling on either side.
Is there anyone in here?
Are you calling outside, or are you asking me?
I'm asking you. I'm asking you.
Not that you see?
And is this gap this is big enough to fit through?
Yes. It's about 9 foot wide at the base.
Lean back and sort of go, found a door. No one's in here.
I'll approach the opening by Euron. Where, and just like whisper to her, like, where is everyone? I thought she said there was 4 of her, and then 4 of her group in her group of friends. Like, where is everybody? I don't understand.
This looks like Versus Temple. I'm willing to bet there's a basement.
Definitely full of treasure too.
Let's hope the door's a little kinder. Jeff, there's a mimic door here. I swear to fuck.
As you enter the room and look around, Euron, you gaze upon the massive statue in the middle, and you see a very similar statue, one very akin to the one in the temple oracle, Sidon, sitting upon his massive throne, hunching over, dominating the room around you. And you see that in addition to the cracks, there is a bronze oculus, still in relatively good condition, letting in a stream of light from the ceiling, extending directly down onto the statue of Sidon. But in Sidon's hand seems to be a large, ornate, oval-shaped mirror. The mirror itself catching and refracting the light and angling it downwards through a small shaft in the center of the floor just beneath his feet.
And I go up to the shaft by his feet and take a look down.
Perception check, please.
13.
Okay. As you glance down the shaft, you see the light going down in shadows around the sides of it, but about 20-30 feet down, all you can see is what appears to be the top of plant, leaves, tree perhaps.
Devil snare.
You win, Julia. Well, no, devil snares can't stand sunlight. Can I see anything else? It's just bigly.
Yeah, that's all you can see. Yeah, that's all you can see from this perspective.
I'm gonna go explore this area while they're all staring at a hole in the ground. Boring.
Oh God.
Yeah, there's no way I'm just gonna fall down that shaft. So I will also go exploring other.
Oh, the D4 of bad decisions. The D4 of bad decisions.
What?
Odds I jump down, evens I don't.
Oh, got it. You literally have a 50-50 chance to either jump down or not.
So does it look like a tree? Like, is it high up, like touching the...
It's not touching it. It's about 20 to 30 feet down.
Can one stealthily jump down?
You're welcome to give it a shot.
You have a rope, don't you?
I do. Is there anything I can anchor my rope on?
The big statue of Zeus?
There, Sidon. There
Be
are
more
a few
Poseidon than Zeus.
There are a few pillars that are broken. You could probably lash off well too, and yes, even the leg of Lord Sidon himself.
I'm gonna lash on to Lord Sidon. That statue's not moving.
Okay.
Unless it's the mimic.
I don't think a mimic is quite that blasphemous. Lash off onto Sidon, lower the rope down, and very slowly start climbing down.
Okay. While you're doing that, what's everybody else doing? Just heading off to the west to explore some more?
Yeah, we left the room when she's like, oh look, a 40-foot drop. I'm gonna go over here. She's clearly not gonna go down that hole.
Yeah.
Okay, you got it. So as Euron, unbeknownst to you, as Euron and her squirrel companion descend the rope into the chamber below, y'all continue on to the west. And before you, you see a very, very dark, wide, rectangular room. In the middle of it, and taking up the majority of it, see this vast pool of deep, almost dark, stagnant water. Sounds of condensation dripping into it, echoing throughout the chamber. Glancing to the left and to the right, you see black vines crawling and massive tree roots busting through the walls, across the room, in and out of the water, up the walls and across the ceiling. The stone floor gradually descends in towards the center pool on all sides, making for a slightly sloped surface that's damp with condensation.
Is there any way we can like kind of skirt around it to get to the other side, or?
There seems to be enough room. There is an opening on the opposite side. 2 doors. They appear to be relatively intact stone doors with various motifs on them. You have to get closer to really make out what they are because they're cracked and weathered in many ways.
I'll test the water with my foot. Freezing cold, warm, slimy, actually clean.
Okay.
I look at Lycus. There are some who would not deem that wise.
Oh, these clothes will not be ruined by this water. I'm just curious what we're looking at here. I'm not bathing in this thing. I'm just testing the water.
He's towing it.
You dip your toe inside of it, and it feels very cold, permeating even through your bone up into your ankle of your hoof. As you go to pick your foot back up, this surge of water kind of slowly ripples across the pool in front of you before subsiding.
I jump back like a motherfucker. Like, hell no. That's cold as ice. Not today, Satan. Sidon. Whatever. Not today. There's something in that fucking water, y'all.
What do you mean something?
I don't know. I stuck my hoof in there and a really big wave shuffled.
You're on.
You're on.
You're on.
You're on. Yeah, we might be able to
Okay.
skirt around it. Does it look like you could skirt around the ends of that?
It does. It might be kind of tight, especially for Aina, but you could probably make it. Meanwhile, while that's happening, Euron, you've descended down the shaft, and you get to the point where it breaks the ceiling of the lower chamber before. Glancing around, you see there's an expansive cave directly underneath where you were standing previously. In a quick glance around, you see many strange plants and flowers and bioluminescent fungi of all sorts of hues and colors and scents wafting throughout the chamber around you. You do see now that this leaves you saw before were a massive tree rising up at the center of this cave, and around the base of it, standing pretty far out, you see a thick carpet of green clovers. A stream of clear water comes out of one point in the wall and then kind of travels near the base of the tree and continues on through the rest of the chamber, and as a light streaming through the ceiling. You hear something beneath you. You can't see it, but it sounds like the voice of a young man.
I do have dark vision. Does that help? Damn it.
They seem to be coming from directly beneath you, obscured by the canopy of leaves of this tree. And you hear this strange cacophony of laughter and yelps of pain from the man's voice. You also hear things like, "Get back here, sweetling! We're not done with you yet!"
Sounds like goatlings?
That is a fair assumption, yes.
I would like to try and descend in such a way that I can get on a tree branch. That musical is very appropriately timed. There we go. I'm gonna try and land on a tree branch. And see if I can, looking down the tree trunk, I can see a little better.
Alright, go ahead. You can lower yourself. You have enough room to lower yourself down to the tree. Give me an acrobatics check to see if you can find purchase on these branches.
Oh, so, no.
Cutting back to the other three, what are y'all doing?
Hey, do you think we should try maybe disturbing the water?
I already did that, and something big fucking shifted in the water.
No, but I mean like a pebble or something.
I put my foot in there. I don't think a pebble's gonna do shit. Does it look like we can skirt up and around the roots? Are they like big roots that going up, or they're just like coming out of the sides? Like
no, it appears that you could make your way across the room, maybe with a little bit of difficulty, but
do
like
the
avoiding the roots.
Like lead? No. Do the roots? I know they're roots, but like, are they tall, or are they just difficult terrain roots? Like, are they roots you climb because they're like swamp trees roots, or
they're similar to the ones outside, as thick as a man's torso. They're largely sitting on the ground and kind of churning through the walls, reaching in towards the pool.
Okay.
You could climb over them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I didn't know if they were like tall. Like, I don't know how long they've been here, because I want to know what's behind those double doors over there.
I mean, same. Alright.
Alright, you cover me, I got this. I'm gonna go around. Like, if I scream, shoot whatever comes out.
And then
I'm gonna be...
pull out one of my
Can you
daggers and
preemptively
get
take
ready.
the dodge action?
You
Not
can
really.
ready a dodge action?
Yeah, that's fine. Because I think something's in that water, so I'm gonna be like...
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go around these roots, and I'm gonna try to stealthily not disturb the water, or slowly, I would say, to not disturb the water. And I'm gonna try to get to the other side.
Okay. Going
And
very
I'm gonna
cautiously.
I'm gonna take the north route.
Alright. You see Lycus kind of creep carefully along the edge of the wall. The floor is slightly slippery, and he has to kind of hop a little bit to get over some of the larger roots. But after many long seconds, he makes his way around to the other side of the room. And you get over to the and you see the stone doors and the relief on them and directly in front of you. Euron, what did you roll for your acrobatics check to find a branch? 7. Okay.
I'm
So,
fucked, aren't I?
As you're dangling from the rope, you kind of put your feet down, and your shield kind of catches on one of the high rope branches that was too thin for you to support your weight.
Try and grab on and like sloth hang on the branch?
We're getting there. Don't worry. As you go to put your weight down, you test it for a minute, and the branch snaps underneath your weight. You were still holding onto the rope loosely, giving it a little test, so you were careful. So give me a dexterity save as your weight drops out from underneath you.
No. Down will come baby, cradle and no.
4. Okay, so at this point, Aina and Syaanis, you hear this,
And then Euron just screaming.
echoing from that shaft in the room behind you. Just as Lycus is over there looking at that door in front of him.
Yeah, I'm just like, what the fuck? Like we all like do this. Oh my god, were you not watching her? Where is she? Oh my god, you're on.
Actually, this is just out of hilarity's sake. Where is the squirrel? Is the squirrel still on my shoulder?
We're not back to you yet.
Damn it.
All right.
What are y'all gonna do?
I'm checking out this door. I didn't traverse
Okay.
death and destruction to not have
Okay.
this door.
I'm gonna run around to the other side of the statue where I heard the noise.
Okay.
Yeah, I
You can
think
use.
that.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I would run back too and look down. I would see the rope and be like, oh god. Okay. Look down the shaft.
You see, both you see the rope extending from Sidon's leg going down the shaft. You see the rope going down into it and dangling in the top of what appears to be a tree down there. You see several broken branches. No Euron. But you do hear the shouts of a young man and what it sounds like a couple of goatlings, and Euron shouting from down below. Kind of unintelligible at this point. While you're looking at that door, Lycus, go ahead and give me an intelligence, a history check, please.
Of course, a history check coming right at you. Master of all history. That is a 10.
Okay.
I'm fair in history.
You see what appears to be several images of these massive 6-armed giant type creatures.
Okay.
Wielding various weapons and shields, and they're kind of, you've seen they're kind of overseeing these humanoid type races, keeping them in a line, standing over there dominantly, depicting some type of ancient celebration or domination.
Okay, yeah. Is that it?
That's all you got.
I push the door open. Or I pull it.
Okay.
Well, I mean, like, is there a key ring? Is there a door knocker? Is there a big lock? Okay, yeah. I
Doesn't appear to be.
open sesame.
Okay.
And I turn around and I come like, hey guys, I found the stair. Guys? Whatever, they'll figure it out. And then I wait. Well, I'll step inside, look left, look right, and then I'll wait.
Okay. Real quick to let you know what you see. You see a stairway descending into the shadows of the lower floor. But in this room, flanking the door on either side, near wall and far wall, you see 4 huge, hideous stone statues, cracked and weathered from time. Each of them appears to have been once in the form of one of those same 6-armed giant cyclops. But the statues themselves, for some reason, time or intentional, are missing various arms and legs and heads. 2 of them near you on either side of the door, holding very large discolored bronze bowls in their lowered arms, and in them some bits of refuse and decayed matter. You're muted.
Huh. Well, when the time comes, so I don't forget, I'll toss a coin into each one. Because I'm assuming these are the Titans, and I'm in like an old Titan temple. And as much as I hate Daddy-O, or Grandpa-O, don't fuck with the gods, you know?
You got it?
Right.
Okay, so let's cut back to Euron now. You guys are all over the place. You slam into the ground with a thud, and you look around, and you see two goatlings here chasing what appears to be a young man in relatively decent clothing, but he's the clothing has been tattered and frayed. You see streaks of blood on his arms and legs and down his neck, and they turn and stare at you for a second as you stare back at them, and the squirrel kind of hops down and gets next to your face and looks at them. And they turn back as the boy's getting away. They look back at you and look back at the boy, and they start chasing after the boy, clawing at him and tearing at him. Get back here, pretty boy! Oh, you're going to be so delicious, but we're not done yet. As you stare for a second in shock that they aren't coming after you for some reason, you see them grasp this boy and kind of tear him down to the ground and rip at him and bite at him, and then they seem to like let him go and continue chasing him around like it's some sort of a game.
Oh.
So how do you react to this? So we can
How
cut
far
back
away
to
are
the
they
other two.
from me?
I have a map somewhere. We'll say right now they're about, I don't want to lie to you. Big map.
I'm sorry.
No, it's good. It's good. I need to know what's going on. All right. So. Drop you down in. All right. So you are down here. See this ancient. And these two goatlings are off to the left-hand side. We'll say they're probably about 20 feet away, kind of hopping over the stream, tearing at this boy, letting him go. They're kind of meandering all over the place, smattering blood and things from rustling around and then chasing.
Fuck it in, spirit of my good friend Lycus. I'm going to pull out my sword and go, hello little goatlings, it's murder time, and run over and see if I can sort of take a hit at one of the goatlings.
Okay.
Clearly,
so
I'm going full protective mode on this poor boy.
You got it. So you get up and you charge after them, sword and shield out, ready to engage them. You hear a battle cry from beneath you. Ina and Syaanis. Lycus is still in that room. What are y'all doing?
This is my last note. I am so sorry I broke the cardinal sin of D&D.
It happens.
I'm just gonna look up at Ina and be like, oh, fuck!
There's no way I can go down the way she went down. So, did I hear
You could fall.
She could get the human half into the hole.
Yeah. Did I hear Lycus shout that he found the stairs?
Yeah, it would have echoed throughout the chamber pretty well.
Okay, so I am going to tell Syaanis I'm gonna go take the stairs, and then I will start making my way downtown.
Same.
Okay.
And just make a quick prayer to Thylea that Euron can hold on until we get there.
All right. I was setting up that map below. Now we're back up here. So you're all going down the stairs. Y'all catch up with him. All right.
I guess we got to go down the stairs. We need to go now.
Don't ask questions. Get in the car, loser.
Which one of you two is leading the way through the room in it?
I will.
Okay.
So I can show her like, hey, step here, step here, step here.
I would
Beautiful.
appreciate that very much.
You got it. Syaanis makes his way across, and as you start to follow him, Ina, it's harder for you because you're bigger and clack, 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 clack. As you're stepping over the roots, once again, lashes out at you. Does a 16 hit you?
Yep.
All right. So as this root lashes out at you and hits you. You take 1 bludgeoning damage as it kind of slams you across the ribs and wraps itself around you, grappling and restraining you in place, and you feel it start to writhe and pull you towards the pool in the middle. Syaanis, you were just up ahead. You heard this. Honestly, Lycus, you hear this as well. I need y'all to roll for initiative, please.
Thanks, Euron.
This would have happened even if I didn't fall down. And I live for narrative.
No.
I live for narrative changes.
I got a 17.
15.
Okay.
9.
I got a 17 as well.
I rolled an 8. So +1.
And I need a dex modifier, Ina and Syaanis, please.
My dex mod is +3.
Mine's a +1.
Okay. All right. So, Syaanis and Ina, you are up. What would you like to do? Yeah, you guys, you have the same initiative, so you can decide, because you're both 17, right? I heard
Yeah.
that right, correct? Okay. You guys can decide each round who goes first.
I'm just gonna try hacking at the vine.
All right, let me move you guys. You'd be here. Syaanis would be, I guess, here. Like I should there. Okay. You're gonna run over there and try to hit the sign. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
Okay. Just gonna scooty on over here. And that's a 14.
Okay, 14 hits.
Gonna hit it for 8.
Okay. You slam through and you carve out a big chunk of it, kind of rips and writhes away, and you don't manage to cleave it all the way through.
Alright. Then I'm just gonna ready a dodge.
Okay. Bonus action, cunning action, dodge. You got it. Ina, you're up. What would you like to do?
I'm restrained, you said?
You are.
I'm gonna try to break grapple.
Okay. Go ahead and make an athletics or an acrobatics check, please.
I rolled a 20 and I have a +5 modifier.
Okay. So you reach down, you grab that weak spot, you kind of twist and summon all your might, and break it free and toss it in the water. A giant wave slashes across the room. You are free of the grapple, and this strange shadow underneath the water kind of slides out of the way from where the root piece of the root got tossed in.
Okay, do I have any movement or no?
Yeah, that was just an action.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to, I'm assuming it's difficult terrain, so I will traverse my 20 feet that I can go, just to try to get through this room.
Okay.
I'll pull oh, never mind, I can't, never mind.
Alright, I'll get you in the corner there. Is that it? Alright.
Oh yeah, no, I can. As a bonus action, I can put Syaanis on my back, and he can move with me.
Sure. You wanna grab him?
Leave him.
I'm just gonna reach out, grab her hand.
Yeah, reach down, flings you on the back, and kind of like over and around these roots and broken pillars. Like, sure up, what would you like to do?
Do I see the appendage taken out, or is it gone at the moment?
There, you mean appendage?
Or, whatever the thing was.
Give me a perception check. Red Your Lips says 7, but I couldn't hear you because you're muted.
Damn it, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, that is
It's
a
okay.
7.
Okay.
It looked like a
Yeah.
1. That's why I had to do a double check. I was like, no way.
You're good. You peer around for a second. Shouty water doesn't give you any tells.
Okay, I'm just gonna call out to get the hell over here, and then I'm gonna ready to shoot it if it comes up, and then if not, I'm just gonna, back up.
Okay, you got it. Euron, remember how many rounds we go through, because we're gonna do you separately. We're not gonna go back and forth with you. All right, so Ina Syaanis, you're up. You're just gonna keep on pulling Syaanis out of there, Ina?
Yes, just continue on. Yes, till we're out of there.
Everybody's muted tonight. All right.
And I'm just going to be on her back,
fine.
sword at the ready.
Does it say you have half speed when you're doing that, or no? When you're carrying somebody, Ina, for that mountable ability, the bonus action one. Okay.
It doesn't say.
Okay. If it doesn't say, then you don't. All right. So, Ina claps away out of the room, slipping and getting just inside the door. And as soon as y'all leave the room, the sound of the creaking, winding roots kind of evens out. And you two see those 4 gigantic statues that I told him about before.
Do we hear any sounds coming from the stairwell or anything?
Lycus does not, because of that 7. Give me another perception check.
19.
19. All right. You hear, there's like some echoing reverberations, very, very subtle, very quiet, nothing you can make out. It does sound like voices of some sort, but you really can't pin anything. There is creature or creatures talking or making noise down there.
Okay, I'll tell them that I can hear some things, and to go ahead and I'll be there as soon as I can, because stairs are difficult terrain for me.
After we get past the door, I'm just going to hop down.
You got it. Standing on the landing, the stairway down there. You're currently engaged in. You went ahead and continue to engage those goatlings, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. We're gonna keep you off of that for now, just because of the timing. But just consider the fact that you are in a fight. Some goatlings and things are hairy at this moment. You 3. What are you doing?
We're just going down the stairs.
Yeah, I'm not fucking trotting through that again. Let's go find Euron. Let's go, hurry up. But I'm gonna drop a coin into those offering plates just because I'm superstitious as fuck.
As you turn to walk down the stairway, all 3 of you hear hard feet echoing throughout the chamber. Echoes of sound reverberating. Reach the top of the landing. Stare down into the darkness. You hear this strange sound behind you, almost of stone scraping against stone.
It's a fucking mimic.
It's a golem.
As you turn to look, all 4 of these statues start moving.
I gave you a coin.
They start lumbering towards you. Their eyes glow with this very similar bright blue glow you saw on the goatlings before, as they reach out to punish you for transgressing. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session
That's
at.
not right.
So,
Are we doing any talking after this, or?
yeah, that's fine. So let's wrap up the stream, and then if everyone wants to hang out after the fact, or chat for a little bit, just kind of cool down. But if you got to go, thank you for coming. We really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed your time here tonight with us, and we'll see you next week, weekly Tuesdays, 8 p.m. right here. If you haven't checked out the links below, please feel free to do so. Love to have you in Discord, Twitter, all that other good stuff. And if you don't hang out with us, see you next time, and have a great night. See y'all later. All right. So y'all split the party.
We didn't.
Are you gonna raid? I remember you had something about remind you to raid.
Yeah, we'll raid after we get done chatting.
That's on me. That's on me.
If anybody has any questions in the chat, feel free to put them in there. It's very much an ask me anything type of a post session, just kind of chill down 5-10 minutes. So, man, you guys, you know, like, I don't even mind if you guys split the party as far as like what it does to y'all. But now I got like 2 maps, 2 separate sets of encounters. I gotta figure out how the hell I'm gonna do all that shit.
I made a note. I made a note that that was the case, but
yeah, I had no idea you were gonna go down the hole. I mean, I thought about it, but as soon as I heard 20-30 feet, I was like, she's not going down the hole. I'm going to.
She's going down the fucking hole.
Yeah, seeing that.
And
now.
Joey from chat, somebody would like the link or info for your earbuds.
Oh, Marbania. Yeah, man.
If you like the quality.
They're all right. They were like a $15-20 Bluetooth set from Walmart. I'll get with you in Discord about it. They're nothing fancy. They were just, yeah, I'll get with you in Discord, buddy. They're functional. I'd like some that are more comfortable, but they're functional.
Ow.
What'd you guys think?
What the fuck's up with that gnome? Fucking squirrel, dude.
He's my buddy.
Oh no, I was totally going crunk on that with the in first new groove, but like, no wait, something's happening here. Squeak, 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 squeak. Oh yeah, I was trying to have a lot of.
You really like your druids who can't talk. That's.
I don't think it's a druid. I think it's a cursed thing.
No, I think it's a druid.
No, gnome druid, no way, huh? In this cursed place? Fucking weird ass blue magic and shit.
Eagle salute.
What do you mean the squirrel's the smartest thing in the area?
Well, the squirrel didn't purposely go down a hole.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. It's throwing shit at us to make us go away, and we walked right into that one, and you literally went down the hole. And hit every branch on the way down.
Oh no, see? Batteries died. When we plug in.
Yep.
Quick, talk shit about the DM.
I'm
it's
not
okay.
Hear you guys.
So, I mean, alright. As far as I can tell.
I mean, I jumped down a hole, you stuck your foot in the water.
Batteries died.
Alright. So, like, as far as I can tell, like, no matter what, we're gonna end up having to deal with... Hold on 1 second
so I can switch over all the audio. I need to do that when I switch devices. Give me a second.
You're good.
Nope, not that. That, good. This, good. And then this. Alright, I can hear you on.
Alright, so... As far as I can tell, basically no matter what, we're gonna end up having to deal with whatever the hell's in that pool. I'm not hyped for it.
I mean, you never know. You never know what could happen.
Please, it's not like we're gonna bust through the floor of this place. It's not like one of us are gonna.
That pool, and then they can fight it out.
There you go.
You could.
Shit, that's actually a really good.
What grabbed you?
idea.
I missed something. Like I thought I was like.
It was a vine.
Oh, the tree root grabbed her.
Yeah, it was like the vine that was outside, right?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Very much so.
Okay.
Yeah, I was trying to grab and pull her into the water.
Interesting.
It needed nutritional value.
It did.
It's just hungry. I mean, what? Oh god.
So
More Raws came out in this session.
I
than
know.
would
What
like.
happened? Where
I
Raws come
don't
from?
know. I don't know where Raws came from.
I was like, wait, what?
I think as soon as I was like, you know what, let's go down. I think, the whole, realistically, if I had hit the tree branch and actually managed to keep my footing, I would have just stayed in the tree and, like, scouted and then climbed back up. But I fell.
The best laid plans. You
Yeah.
never know. You gotta be careful.
And then the moment I was already down there, and I saw the kid guy person getting hurt, I was just kind of like, fuck it. I realized I was thinking if I could just whip my spear, but no. Yeah.
I almost had a dumb moment, but then I was like, yeah, there's no way this would actually work. Whenever we actually got to the pool, I was thinking, what if I get a running start and try jumping over? But, I mean, even with my +7 for acrobatics, there's no fucking way I would have made that work.
Yeah, no, I have a +1.
never know.
You're not Superman with that.
Nah.
I mean, it's not like I'm gonna start fucking pole vaulting.
Well, fun fact, distance is based on your athletics score and athletics check anyway. Post athletics score, unless there's something special about it.
Well, that would have been even worse because I have a -1.
Yeah, acrobatics would be to like do something fancy, getting over or under certain obstacles during the jump, stuff like that, or to land, a dexterity save to land, or acrobatics check to land, stuff like that. Oh man. What was y'all's favorite part of tonight? What was the most fun for y'all?
I mean, the beginning.
Yeah.
That was great.
I wasn't expecting everyone to have such a vile reaction to whatever I was doing.
Yeah, Julia had to mute. She's like, I can't listen.
You
I can't hear him.
eating slime out the bottom of an inn
And he was
garbage.
Yeah, I took my
driving
headphones
it.
out. I was like, "There's no chance I need to hear this."
Yeah, no. That was no.
Oh man, that was everybody. Was the role play in the beginning?
That was.
Well, I
mean,
enjoyed the
it was
squirrel.
great.
I mean, I enjoyed the
You
squirrel.
like the squirrel?
The squirrel was fun. Killing goatlings was fun.
Killing goatlings was also real fun.
Ooh, what about them honing in on young Syaanis?
Yeah, what the
That's
fuck?
super interesting. And now they're honing in on this young boy. I feel like they've got like a thing for like
Strapping young
athletic
men.
But they didn't want like it.
Well.
Yeah, like what the fuck? I'm
Goatlings-
right here.
I get
Right
the
here.
feeling goatlings like to play with their
Strapping
food.
young man.
You are a strapping young man. But, no, I think the goatlings really like to play with their food, and I think they just decided when I fell down that I wasn't worth it.
Nonsense. You're totally worth it. You're all worth it. I promise. I am going to be trying to kill all of you equally. It's just, goatlings had a thing for Syaanis, and now y'all give me plenty to work with through y'all apparently drawing the ire of some statues, and Euron down in the middle of God knows where with God knows what, doing God knows what.
And that don't make no damn sense, because I gave that bitch a penny. And I still pissed off the golems. Unacceptable.
Perhaps your offering wasn't good enough. Or perhaps there was more to it.
So Lutheria is taking an issue.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
Did we
You
not
are-
pour one out for her?
You
Last
are, in
time
the
we were
temple
drinking?
you are in the Temple of Sidon, mind you. I think we should leave it there.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and leave it there. Everybody else, if you had enjoyed something in particular tonight, please hop in that tonight or tomorrow in Discord. Let us know. Twitter, whatever. I'd love to chat with you guys about the sessions, and that additional interaction with the story and everything makes everything so much richer. I really love it. I know they love it, so we appreciate that. Please stick around for another few seconds. We're going to raid another D&D channel give them some love. The only one on my list right now that I see is Featherfall TT. They're a really great goop, so we will raid them. I think we might have raided them last. That's cool. They're really cool. Make sure I spelled that right. And before I go, I'm gonna switch over to the ending screen because the credits for the Patreons and stuff are on there, and give them the shout out they deserve. So it's gonna go to ending screen and then raid. So anyway, until next time, I love you all. Thank you for coming with us tonight. I really hope you enjoyed the story and you continue to be a part of it. And until next time, remember, you're not role playing, you're not doing it right.
Doing it right.
See y'all then.